Yo, everybody. Hopefully everyone's had a great day. Hopefully everyone enjoyed the race. I'm not gonna lie. It was a bit boring. It was decent, but it was a bit boring. Coming from how chaotic qualifying was hoping for a little bit more, you know? But hey, can't have every race being the center of drama. Put that over there. That's nice. Yo, how you doing, buddy? Welcome in. Hope you had a good day. Lovely. You can see all of chat there. And all of chat here. Nice. How you doing, Michael? Welcome in, buddy. Hope you had a good day. Lovely jubbly. Sound as a pound. Yo, welcome in, everyone. Sweet as a nut. Sweet as a nut. Don't really know when nuts are sweet, but we're going to run with it. How you doing, FIFA King? What a race. I didn't think the race was that exciting, personally. Overall, yeah, the weekend was really good. Good morning, good afternoon, good brother at work, my friend, enjoying the Williams podium, cracking. Yeah, I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. The Williams podium, actually, now I do think about it, that's pretty crazy. The fact that the last Williams podium in a full race distance was 2017 is actually kind of nuts. Like, that is cray cray. That is crazy. You got a league race in 30 minutes? Enjoy, to be honest. Like, there's a lot of things I could say, but enjoy. I think that's the biggest one I can put. I think a lot of people say I'll put a lot of pressure on themselves. Enjoy, have fun, have a good time, mate. How you doing, Dommy? Welcome in, buddy. Doing good, thank you. Hope you're doing good as well. Yeah, Piastri lap 1 was really strange. Like, this whole weekend was very strange on Piastri, but look, it's like his 3rd season in Formula 1. Broski can make mistakes, you know. I don't think people need to be dramatic about it and be like, oh, he's bottled it. He's bottled, because he hasn't. You know what I mean? I just think it was a mistake that can happen. Either way, though. Let's take... I want to take Max's car today. Do you think Max can come back? I think that's the question of the whole sport at the moment, isn't it? I think Max can. I think Max can come back from it. I think Max can win the championship. Yo, Nova, how you doing? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, no, exactly. It was doomed off the start, but it can happen, you know. Had your first made a fool on a mountain bike, kissed the wall, and ended up doing a right. Damn. You okay, though? Hope you're doing okay. That sounds rough. That is pretty intense. Ah, you're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. Hope you're doing good, though. Because it was 4 a.m. Saw Max 1. You were in the highlights. Yeah, that does suck. Like when you're planning to watch the highlights or something, and the result gets spoiled for you, you're like, ah, not ideal. Driving the rain? I do indeed. I do indeed. It's on my channel already. End up missing the tree. Ah, okay. Well, a few scratches, a few battle wounds, mate. Sounds alright, though. Sounds like you got off fairly light, considering the situation. But a few battle scars never hurts anyone. Went to Eston? Huh? Eston? And got sidetracked, went to Padora and went back. Nice. Finished my F1 mini cars thing. Nice. Send them over if you don't mind. Send me a photo. That'll be awesome. Cracking. We've already got a full lobby, and they are already readying up. Slow down, boys. We need to make the grid. Southampton. Ah, okay. I'm a boomer, so I'm not always on top of those things. You were a dirty driver last time. I remember you. Nice try. You were dirty. Bye-bye. Not happening this time. Tut, tut, tut. Finger wag. Nice try, though. Nice try. You sound like a Leigh racer. So you're coming to the back with me. You're definitely a Leigh racer. You're definitely a Leigh racer. Before a singular race. I have the memory today. I saw that name and I'm like, he's gone. You should have changed his name. He would have had a better chance if he changed his name. That way he would have survived the race. He's in PSGO F3. Fair play to him. Fair play. That's good stuff, to be fair. Why'd you put me at the back? Because your name makes you sound like a Leigh racer. Like, the fact that you have, like, a clan tag makes you sound like a Leigh racer. Well, it means you're probably quick. Well, it means you're joining me at the back. So then the races stay competitive and stay a bit more fun. I bought this little package 2 weeks ago. And now quarterfinal leaders, top 5. Let's go, man. Finish the setups. Definitely working. Ah, man. You're more than welcome. Happy to hear that you're liking them and they're working for you as well, man. That's awesome. Congrats on your results, man. That's so cool. Good results always feel quite satisfying. Obvious statement. Just trying to reach down. Obvious statement, I know. Yo, how you doing, Jasper? We'll definitely some pics when it's done. Lovely jubbly. How long have you been sim racing for? Since 2010. If you consider just playing racing games though as sim racing, I don't know if I would. I've been playing racing games since 2004, maybe 2003. It's quite a little while. Quite a little while. So satisfying. Ah, let's go, man. How old are you? 70. Nah, I'm 26. Brendon, how you doing, buddy? Hope you had a good day. Welcome in. Fat Cat Batman. What a username. Who do I have for driver of the day? Ah, for sure, Sainz. Look, Verstappen deserves it. Because Verstappen was the best driver today. But That's pretty normal for Verstappen. So as a standout performance, I would say Sainz. It's just a shame for Verstappen he's so good. Because winning is normal for him. So when he wins, it's not like... You know what I mean? How the lobbies going? This is the first one. So hopefully they go good. Any guesses why McLaren didn't have pace? I don't think it's that they didn't have pace. I think... Oh, that's what should have happened between the two McLarens in real life. Speaking of the McLarens, hey! Let's see if one of them goes in the wall here. Oh, he's trying to hit me, isn't he? Karma. Yeah, I don't think they... I think they were quick. I don't think they were slow. I just think Lando got stuck in the traffic. Like, yeah, the DRS chain was just crazy. Yo, welcome in. The problem was today with Baku that there was a tailwind from this corner down to the pit straight, but all the way down the pit straight. So the reason that was bad is with a tailwind it's harder to overtake because the slipstream effect is less. When you have a headwind it makes the slipstream effect more, so it becomes easier to overtake as a natural result of that. So today there was a massive tailwind down the pit straight, at least to my knowledge and the information I have anyway. Can these guys stop hitting me from behind? So with the tailwind, it just made it much harder. Normally, it would have been okay. When I had 0 battery, I don't believe that graphic, to be honest. Like, because it said he had 0 battery in the braking zone. Well, unless his battery was broken, is impossible. Because the battery is always recharging in the braking zone. And it said that Lewis's battery was stagnant at 40% for multiple seconds. What again is impossible because the battery in a normal racing situation is either depleting or gaining percentage. Like, there's no situation in a normal racing scenario at the start of a straight or the exit of a corner that the battery stays stagnant on its percentage. So I think the graphic is quite cool. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cool to see. But I would always take those things with a pinch of salt. Yo, Michael, welcome in, buddy. Yeah, how you doing, Luke? Oh, he's got to play DRS games, hasn't he? Oh, he didn't. Yo, how you doing, Toms? Living that life. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was almost in the wall. I think someone crashed in the castle. Yeah, someone did. They didn't like fully spin out, but they definitely slowed down. Let me also see how good of a job Leigh and Lawson did. Oh my god. Really mature. I think it would have been quite easy for him to throw the race away when losing the podium. Like, in that situation, it's pretty tough, I think, for a driver when they're about to lose the podium or in the process of losing that podium place. To stay calm and to not do something drastic or crazy. And he was just so solid today. Yo, how you doing, Bob? Fantastic Club Sport Wheel. I think it's good. Yeah, I would say it's quite good. It's hard to also say exactly because it depends on like your purpose for the equipment, like if you're competitive driving or just looking to enjoy sim racing, you know what I mean, like. But I think the Club Sport Wheel is quite good. Another disappointing race for Ferrari fans. Yeah. They, yeah. I mean, it's hard to say that they did everything wrong today. But they just got stuck in the same DRS train that Lando did. You know what I mean? Like, in that DRS train was just impossible to do anything. So I don't really feel like they did much wrong today. But it was just a repercussion of messing up yesterday, to be honest. I think also the thing with Ferrari is like they still have that problem with the lift and coast, don't they? That they need to basically lift and coast and not wear out the plank of the car, so they don't get disqualified again. And I feel like that's like their biggest hindrance, is they're just setting up the car to avoid getting disqualified. What? I can literally never imagine how tough mentally that is for their drivers. To drive knowing that they have to lift and coast the whole time, and they can't even fight. Don't think that was the issue today. What would you say the issue was? I mean, just out of interest. Like, I'm not contesting yet, but just always interested to hear a different POV. Right, let's see if we can hang on to this win. With 6 tenths advantage. Should be right. Yes! Lovely jubbly. Keep it cool. Oh yeah. No, I agree. These cars are so drag efficient. But the thing is like, the DRS detection zone was sensible. Like, the DRS detection zone was sensible. But the bigger problem was the tailwind. Like, the tailwind basically meant the slipstream was basically nothing until DRS got opened. If it was a headwind, the overtaking would have been much easier. Like, it's easy to slam the sport, but the environmental factor and the crazy, like, I think even 60km/h gusts of wind, they said in qualifying, you can't predict that, you know. Yo, thanks so much for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you, bro. What is a better console to game? Honestly, mate, I'm not too sure. I think it really comes down to what one your mates are on. Or what community is maybe a bit better. I think Xbox... I don't know that much about consoles, so please correct me if I'm wrong, chat. But I would say, from what I understand now, PlayStation has the better console, but Xbox has the better funding and the better infrastructure around it. That's kind of how I've understood it. If I'm wrong, just, yeah, let me know. Ray, yesterday in a 30 plus Leigh Silverstone win just said, oh, mate, no way. Congratulations on your win. Happy to hear that the setup was helpful along the way. That's awesome, mate. Congratulations. Where's your next race? Can I send a clip somewhere? Yeah, I think in the Discord should be good. Expecting the corners due to the setup. Straight line was garbage. Yeah, but a lot of the straight line is down to the not wanting to wear the plank of the car. Like, so they have to run the car in a certain way. They have to lift and coast in a certain way to not basically wear out the floor. So they have to strip a lot of the downforce off to not even rub the floor too much. And then even still, on top of that, they have to lift and coast, so they can't even take the advantage of the lower wing. Any recommendation for a rig and seat? What do you use? I use a company called Race Anywhere. Mainly, the advantage for me over Race Anywhere over SimLab is they were based in the UK. But I would say SimLab out of those, what you said. No disrespect to any of the companies, but I've used SimLabs before, whereas I've not used GT Omega or Track Racer. Oh my god, these boys are starting it. Wait. I need to do the grid, boys. I need to do the grid. Okay, random people are coming up the back now. It's all happening too quickly. There we go. For console races, most of them PS. Oh, okay. Oh, how you doing, Oliver? Different options for exclusivity. Oh, okay. I mean, I think a lot of this whole console thing will come down to GTA 6, isn't it? Like, I think GTA 6 is not coming straight away on PC, no? So, whatever has better support or anything for GTA 6 is going to get a boost in sales. I think I called it last stream. Nah, the pressure is not getting to Oscar, man. It's one race, it's one situation. Like, I think it's too harsh to say that the pressure is getting to Oscar because of one race. If it happens, like, in Singapore again, then maybe you can start to say something. But for one race, you don't know. There can be something in his family. There could be something in the personal life. You know, like, it's really hard to speculate on these things because, like, look, I'm not putting things out there what I know or don't know, so I'm just speculating. But for all you know, maybe he had, like, God hopes that nothing like this actually happened. Maybe he had an argument with the family, or maybe someone's ill. You know what I mean? God forbid that doesn't happen or isn't happening. But I think it's too harsh to say off one occasion that someone's underperforming when you don't know their life circumstance. You know what I mean? Because maybe he's performing well considering a life circumstance, but we don't really ever know because, of course, we're not in his personal life. Yo, how you doing? How you doing, Victoria? Hope you had a good day. How long are the open lobbies? Probably for another hour and a half, roughly. I would say controller is harder than wheel, yeah. Alright, we're going to take it easy. Good, thanks. Lovely. Doing good as well, thank you. Well, that's a free position. Is he going to stay ghosted? Yes. Okay, can someone remind me to kick that McLaren? It was like Rafa or something was his name. Does that borderline look deliberate? And to kick Will. Because that was deliberate. Alright, let's see what we can get back to in this race. Ooh, don't be a penalty. Thank you. Yo, how you doing? How you doing, Acid? Welcome in, buddy. Oh! Okay, that's my fault. Sorry. Where's the Alpine gone? We'll let him back through. My bad. Kick Brendon. Noted. Honestly, I would deserve to be kicked after that. So having a great weekend. Yeah, no, agreed. The Yuki weekend was quite solid. Would it be enough to stop Hajar taking his seat? Probably not. I think for Yuki to keep his drive now, more or less requires him either to be on the podium pretty consistently, to be the reason Max wins the championship, or Isaac, is it Isaac? Slows down a lot towards the end of the season or starts making like mistakes. Yeah, but the thing also is with the Norris pit stop is we don't know if he stopped on his marks correctly. I'm not like defending the McLaren team, right? Because I don't have the information to do that, but like all I'm saying is we don't actually know if Norris even stopped on his marks correctly for that pit stop. For all we know, he could have been like 20 centimeters too long. I think the Norris strategy was quite good. He did stop correctly. Ah, fair enough then. In that case, yeah. Then the pit stops need to be analysed. I wouldn't say he didn't put it on purposely. Like, I think there's too much evidence and too much risk associated with that. I think someone could do like a 3-second pit stop and get away with it, right? And they could be like, oh, okay, maybe you can justify a conspiracy theory for like 3 seconds, but for the mistake that the McLaren boys have made, I don't think you can justify a conspiracy theory simply because it would be too obvious and the person would lose their job and lose their career in Formula 1 if that conspiracy theory is proven true. You know what I mean? It would just be game over for that employee. What's your opinion on Piastri up 1? I mean, I don't really think there's much of an opinion to say. I mean, he made a mistake. I think that's all you can more or less say about him, you know? Or about it. Wood spot to lock up. Oh yeah, I think he got caught with the leaves in the trees underneath. Because the onboard shot doesn't really show it, but that part of the track was pretty covered in leaves and like debris from the tree. So I think what happened is he got out to a bit of the track that's not been touched all weekend long. It was really dirty anyway from the tree and the leaves. And just got caught out by it, to be honest with you. I think that's all you can say about it. Do you think Oscar won the championship? Not anymore. I think if he had a half-decent race here, then yeah. And we need to kick Hitman. Raphael, Hitman, and Will. Need to remember those. Cheers, John. Appreciate ya. I also need to kick myself for taking out the Alpine. How you doing, Nicola? Welcome in. I'm also just going to quickly grab a bite to eat, so I'll be literally just 2 seconds, chat. I'll be back in just a mo. Because I need some food. I did, Leo. Have a good one. Enjoy your football. Enjoy your football, buddy. Yeah, how you doing, Alex? Welcome in, bro. Oh. That you? How so? Is that me? Like the in-game character, or? I think more than likely probably Norris will win Singapore. He's really good on these kind of flowy, technical tracks. If Red Bull sort out the setup, Max will be there. I think if the Red Bull was anywhere within 3/10 of the McLaren on raw pace, Max might just bang in a final lap to take pole. Cheers for the reminder, buddy. Much appreciated. Yo, how you doing, Gab? Welcome in, buddy. Got in the lobby. Let's go, man. Let's go. Man, people have been quite harsh to call up Pinto recently. I think so anyway. Like, in fairness to him, he's been out qualifying Gasly. I think people are just being quite harsh to him recently. I think he's getting backlash because his fans keep attacking everyone. Because they kind of treat him a bit harsher than he actually is doing. Or treat him worse than he's actually doing. Typical, goes up, turn 1. Yeah, but you can say that argument about a lot of drivers, like that one driver only gets ahead when the other one underperforms. What is true for basically half the grid, right? But I think irrelevant if one person's like underperforming or whatever, like I think it's also fair to see the reason that someone is underperforming. Because maybe, I'm not saying this is the case, but I'm just saying, like, maybe one person's making mistakes so the other person is really fast in practice, is putting pressure. You know what I mean? So, I think there's a lot of complexities to these kind of things. I didn't actually make contact with anyone there. Even though it looks like I wiped out 3 cars, I actually didn't. But it looks really sus, I'm not gonna lie. We're all shades. Whenever there's a space, yeah. Someone may leave or get kicked for driving dirty. It's not there yet. No, I would say that's a fair statement, but I mean, like, the thing what I'll say to that is, like, let's say a counter is Gasly is, I think, an A-tier driver. Actually, no, let me reframe that. I think Gasly is between B+, or, yeah, B+, or an A-tier driver. Max is like A double star, right? For reference. So Gasly's very, very good. So it's like, I think for anyone to be ahead of him in like race pace consistently, it's going to be pretty tough. Max is a separate tier, yeah. Like, I would put like Oscar, Charles as like A star. At the moment, Lewis is A, to be honest. Lando is A. But Max is like A double star. Nice. Glad to hear that you got home safely. Yeah, Charles crashes too much. That's, in my opinion, what, at least in my reference, stops him from being an A double star. I think he has all the pace of Max. What was that? I think he has all the pace of Max, but in qualifying anyway, I think Max is still better at managing races than Charles is. But yeah, I think it's pretty definitive that Max is the best driver on the grid right now. Over a year by quite a distance. But the other thing I would also say, let's say in the defense of Charles, is how much of his inconsistency is a net result of driving over the limit of the car to extract performances that maybe it shouldn't have. You see what I mean? Like, if Charles wants the pole position, well, of course, every driver does. But if Charles wants a chance of pole position, I should say, every corner probably has to be, like, perfect and really on the limit. What is true for everyone, probably. But I feel like for Charles doing a pole lap in that Ferrari is like a really special thing. '23 Max was chilling? No. In results, yeah. In 2023, Max was chilling in results. But in terms of his work ethic and discipline, I don't think he was chilling. You can't be that dominant and be chilling. Yeah, no, exactly. Some of us crashes with other drivers as well. Everything is lava. Hey brother, hope you're doing good. I'm doing good, thank you, buddy. Hope you're doing good as well. Will we see another tiebreaker? I don't know, to be honest. I don't know. I think we'll see a tiebreaker, possibly. And don't get me wrong, I'm not jumping on the Hope bandwagon. But I think we may see a tiebreaker between between Max and Oscar. But I don't think we're going to see a tiebreaker between Oscar and Lando. I saw that helmet wrap. I sent you an Insta, mate. I think. Let me see. Yeah, I did. I sent you the Insta. But yeah, that would be cooking if we could. That would be mega. Yeah, talking about the results. Fair enough. We've got the logo and frame all sorted. Literally just need to get the template of the mini F1 cards done, glued to the one pieces. That's awesome. I do love an IKEA frame. I do like building IKEA stuff, to be fair. It's very satisfying for minimal work. You borderline don't even need the instruction manual. And who likes the instruction manual anyway? Like, who likes getting something delivered and going, this piece of paper is going to teach you how to make it? No! You send it! You do it off your free will and exposure to possibly get it wrong. And if it goes wrong, you start again. Or you throw it in the bin. Or you blame your tools. That one is my personal favourite. I would say manual gears can be seconds faster per lap. I think, yeah. Like, manual gears can be seconds faster per lap. You think Piastri's falling off? Under what, like, grounds and information have you, like, came up with that idea? Like, I'm not even, like, trying to defend Piastri, but I'm just genuinely curious to, like, what has led you to think from one bad race out of a rock-solid season, he's falling off? Yo, DK! What wheel do you have? I have the Simucube Sport with an ascher Ultimate wheel rim. Can you unban me? Probably not. 67 wins for Verstappen. I saw Red Bull post about that. That's quite funny, to be fair. See, TikTok isn't letting you log into your MacBook. You watch TikTok on a MacBook? That is a new level of doom scrolling, to be fair. That is impressive. I need a link for something. Fair. But still. I don't know. I feel like watching TikTok on your PC is like doing Instagram on your web as well. Like, you can. It just doesn't feel right. Like, technically you can go through the Mackey's drive-thru backwards. But would you? Probably not. You know what I mean? How did you hit me from there? Oh. Sounds jokes. Like, it does sound jokes. Until you accidentally, like, mean to turn right, but you end up going left. And crash into the payment stand thing. Whatever it's called, like the payment booth. That'll be £20 and a new rear light, thank you. Oh! There's no way I'm backing out of this. Free wide. Thank you. That's honestly impressive how quickly that car spun. Yeah, we've got Desperate. TK's a mod now. It was dark times. And that's why I wouldn't make a very good, like, you know, mayor of a city or something like that. Because my criteria for letting people be, like, in charge of decisions is if I'm too busy to do it myself or not. Like, you want to make the law for doing that? Ah, mate, I'm too busy. You crack on. You do that, mate. Don't worry. Yo, Lude, how you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing good. How are they in the inside wall there? What's all that about? From Vegas? Any other? Let's go, man. Congratulations. Good stuff, brother. Good stuff. It took TK 45 minutes. Put a Lego man together. You have no worry about TK doing stuff. You'll get bored. I have a funny story about that kind of thing. I won't go fully into detail out of respect for Lego. But I was meant to do This is a true story, by the way. Even though it sounds ridiculous. I was meant to do in 2023 a partnership like video with Lego. Basically to build the Lego car and drive it on the sim. Was a quite cool concept of a video. I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. I'm not very good at reading instructions or listening to instructions. So the building of the Lego car didn't really go to plan. And thus the video never got made. So yeah, what are you hitting me for? I think it is linked for my download, Batman. If you don't like instructions, I have a fun game for you. Called Keep Talking... What? That sounds, explosive. Bubbles. No worries, buddy. Good at playing, a satisfying to watch. Appreciate you, bro. That is a definition of if there's a gap, there's a car. To be fair, he did leave the gap open, so we took it. Oh yeah, hard racing indeed. Crack-a-lackin'. Science P3 was mega, to be fair. That was top-notch stuff. Oh, that was real top-notch stuff from him. Like, I wasn't sure, because the Mercedes started to look super good, super powerful. But then, yeah, he controlled it so well. Like, he did a really good job as well to let Russell go. Like, once he saw that Russell was ahead of him, he just went, okay, GG, I'm not fighting you. He wouldn't have been able to fight him anyway, but you know what I mean. A lot of people would have panicked losing the P2, but he just went, okay, I focus on P3. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm not really surprised by the Mercedes pace. I think they did their normal pace, but everyone else bottled, to be honest. Like, I think the fact that McLaren, Ferrari, was so far behind, the fact that Williams was staying in P2 for most of the race, I think just showed how much of a bottle everyone else did. You know what I mean? Yeah. The pit entry from George, oh my god. I think there was something like he was like a second faster than the predicted pit entry for Mercedes. Like, whoa. That was insane. who wins the F1 championship, I think Oscar or Max. Not Stroll. Good. Cheers for the information, buddy. I'm sure that is electrifying news for a lot of us today. George is the future of F1. I wouldn't say he's the future. I think he's the future of Formula One in the UK. Like, I think when Lewis retires, I think George probably will take over that status of like the prominent UK driver. It's been Lando over this last like year or two. But to be honest, I think Lando's getting quite a bad reputation. Well, not bad. I think because he's not winning and people perceive him as a bottle, what I think is a harsh reputation. I don't think it's completely true. I think I think Lando's reputation is getting a bit mudded. Not through any fault of his own, but because he's just being perceived as a bottle. Well, again, I don't really think it's a true reputation. But as soon as the Mercedes is good and George starts to win some races, the way that he talks, the way, I mean, like, George is very, like, they're both very British, but Lando is a bit more, like, hip-hop, relax. George is a bit more, like, suit and tie. What, the media will love, to be honest. I don't think George is getting a bad rep at all. I think Max can still win it, yeah, to be honest. I think he still has a good chance of it. Lewis won't retire soon. I think he will retire at the end of 27. I think if 26 doesn't go well for him, then he might stop then. But I think realistically it'll be at the end of 27. He'll go. And by the end of 2027, providing Lewis doesn't... And I say this as a Lewis fan, by the way. Providing Lewis doesn't up his performance, either he'll need to drop his salary or someone else would take over. Oh my god. What is all that lag? Cheers, game. But yeah, I say that as a Lewis fan, by the way, but... Alright, it's time to lock in. What happened to Oscar and Baku? The wall. Nah, I don't think Oscar's mistakes were related to any pressure with the championship. Yeah, I think Max can still win it. Wow. Wasn't expecting to ghost there. kind of knew he would, because it's just how the game works, but it looked like he wasn't about to. P8 to P6 because of penalties. Thoughts on the race? I thought it was quite boring, to be honest. I think parts of it were quite good, but I think largely it was quite boring. I think I was expecting more chaos because of how qualifying was. But overall was an entertaining weekend, I would say. Shifter sound good. Thank you. I use Asher Ultimate. You think Ferrari should stop racing for the rest of the year? I can't tell if you're being serious or not. Who's the best driver in F1 2025? I think this year the best drivers be between Max and George, I would say. I'm not too sure about a one stop. It could be possible, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest, mate. But yeah, should be possible. I guess. We're trying with how hard it is to overtake, it would be probably quite quick as well. No, I don't think. I don't think. I don't think Oscar was feeling any of the pressure, to be honest. Well, I mean, maybe that's too harsh of a statement, but I don't think he's feeling like super under pressure by the whole situation. What's my best F1 driver all time ranking? I can't do like a ranking, because it's a really difficult topic to even summarize with different cars, different era, different people. But my top 6 of all time. Let me just find my setup. 2 seconds. There we go. I would say my top 6 F1 drivers of all time, not in order, would be Jim Clark, Ayrton Senna, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Michael Schumacher. I need to think about a 6th one. Maybe Fangio. Vettel? No, he's not in my top 5 or 6. He's very good, but he's not in the top 5 or 6. I think Vettel is in the range between the top 10 and maybe top 15 of all time. I was thinking about Prost. It was either Prost or... I was thinking either Prost or Fangio. But the thing is, also, with Alain, it's not his fault, let's say. But back then, from the stories I've heard and what I understand about the sport, what might be a lot or might be little. If someone corrects me, maybe it's not that lot. Maybe I don't know a lot, but anyway, if I'm wrong, please correct me. The thing is also about Alain, he was so good. But also he was driving before, like, the driver weight was standardized. So he was, like, super, super light. So he would bring down the weight of the car just by his, like, size. What is not his fault. You know what I mean? Like, he can't help that necessarily. And it's his advantage to use. But I think Alain is in the top 10 F1 drivers of all time, in my opinion. But I think it's hard to get a proper read on him. What do I think about Button? Maybe top 30? Nah, probably top 30 is too low. Meh. Karma. I would say, yeah. Within the top 30 F1 drivers, maybe top 25. Alright, we're going to lock in and try and catch this geezer. Opens. Yeah, I'd be quite surprised if it is open on a Sunday night. That'd be quite impressive. I think also this is a hard topic to discuss because there's no real definitive data point for it. But I think there's also something to be said for most talented F1 drivers of all time. Because then at that point, like James Hunt, Kimi Räikkönen really shoot to the top of that list, right? James Hunt especially. The pace that guy was going at for the lifestyle he had was crazy. Places Mika. Probably top 12. Top 10 maybe. Mika's quite a hard one to properly judge. Oh no, the lobby's still open. Battle over Hakkinen. In their prime, no. But Hakkinen did a really smart thing. And he sort of just quit in his prime. You know what I mean? He just kind of went, okay, I'm happy with how it's going. I'm going to go chill. So off prime and raw pace, probably Hakkinen is ahead of Vettel. But because Vettel stayed for longer, I think he's about on par with Mika as like success influential. Or influential success. Probably even higher than Mika in terms of influential success. Yeah, Juan Pablo Montoya's got a lot of talent. I mean, again, Juan Pablo Montoya is in the... probably in the same... in a slightly different way, but is in the same sort of category as James Hunt, really, isn't he? Like, amazing, amazing talent. But probably Montoya would have been more successful with his personality in the 70s, because Montoya's mentality was just like, bang, I am who I am, no politics, no hiding, I want to get in and drive the car. Bang. I think that personality was better suited to like the 70s in Formula 1. So yeah, Montoya had so much talent, but I think even in like the era that Montoya was, like the early 2000s, I think it started to require quite a political brain to maximize it, and it still does, even more so, Formula 1 that is. And I think Montoya just never really cared about that stuff. I mean, Logan Sargent, people will laugh at me for saying this, probably, but if he didn't destroy himself mentally, he would have been pretty decent. We mustn't forget, he was on course to beat Oscar Piastri for the F3 Championship until he got shunted off at corner 2 in Mugello on the final race of the season. I think he just imploded mentally, to be honest. What was a shame. You could see it already in the end of his F2 days. Like, he was losing performance and really tight as a personality, as a behind the wheel, when he came closer to his dream in Formula 1. He never really shook that off, in my opinion. Sorry, what? What? My opinion about Sargent, or? Yeah, but in anything. No, agreed. Like, I think, like I say, I also try my best to understand the person, not just the outcome of the result for the driver, you know? I think it's really easy to just look at one driver and say, okay, they won, or they didn't win, or they did this, or they didn't. And to have that, like, become the be-all, end-all story. But I think it's actually more important to look at a driver globally, you know, and try to understand their story about it. It's why also Bortoletto, I think I have a lot of respect for him. Gabriella is. Because from a young age, he moved over to Europe from living in Brazil. Was a young boy when he was basically told to live on the other side of the world to chase his dream. And you can see he's super mature, super hardworking, quite tough mentally. It's also the same thing as Ayrton Senna. Like, he came over, lived actually in my hometown Reading in the UK. They named the street after him actually, called Senna Drive. I think it's either Senna Drive or Ayrton Drive, one of the two. I can't remember, but one. And yeah, it made them. The toughness added them, you know. Truly top 20, top 30. Honestly, I don't know enough about Jarno Trulli to rank him. I think it would be unfair of me. Yeah, I think Senna probably has a debate for, like, the best standout drives, but again, it's tough, innit, to, like, properly rate someone. Seen lots of great athletes in college. Don't pan out as professionals. Yeah, I think it's really different when you're doing something not being paid, and as soon as you're being paid to do something like a sport, I think it's really hard for someone to transition the mentality of what once was a hobby that you're very good at to all of a sudden you're paid to perform, and if you don't perform, you're out. Because as soon as there's that kind of money involved, there's no leniency for, like, a bad day at the office or a bad result. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you're being paid to win a game or win a match or do whatever successfully, it goes from being a hobby to you have people to answer to. And I think that affects some people more negatively than others. I think some people actually get better because of it. Some people phase it out. Cheers. Yeah, I just think it's really interesting. Pancetta Master. What a username. Cool life, yeah. I guess that guy's gonna leave. Yeah, no, it is life, to be fair. I think Barrichello is an interesting case in Formula 1. Because Barrichello probably is one of the least selfish Formula 1 drivers ever. And I think generally Formula 1 drivers are quite selfish. You have to be. But on the scale of it, Barrichello was probably the best teammate in modern Formula 1 history. The best teammates in Formula 1 history go back to the sort of early 50s when you could swap cars. I think there was a story, I can't remember who the beneficiary was, if it was Fangio or someone else. Long story short of it, Fangio's car broke down and his teammate gave Fangio the car to complete the race with, to win the championship, if I remember my story correctly. It was something like that. It was in that era anyway. Who is the best car in F1 history? That's a good question. Personally, I would say the Lotus 49. Simply because, like, it was probably the most revolutionary car ever. This Williams is driving like an idiot, man. Yeah, I'd probably say the Lotus 49 was, like, the most revolutionary car in Formula 1. Okay. The driving standards are so bad. Yeah, honestly, to be honest, I like to stream and have fun. And this isn't very much fun. So I'm going to call it there. We'll be back live tomorrow. But yeah, there's no point driving that for me. It's just not enjoyable. I like to chill, have a good time, enjoy my evening. And with people like that is pointless. So yeah, with that being said, I will be back live tomorrow. Car swap story. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Cry about it. Are you speaking to me, Leo? Or anyway, yeah, we'll be back live tomorrow. And I plan on doing WOR on Thursday night. So I'm probably going to start, like, streaming the practice as well. What I'm quite excited for. So I'm going to start my practice with WR tomorrow. So I'm probably going to stream that. And hopefully take you along for how it kind of looks and feels to be preparing. Preparing for a legal ace. But yeah, with that being said, what's cracking? Was a good Sunday evening. Was a good time. We're gonna go find someone to raid as well. And yes, let me just go and do something. Let me just bring up Twitch. Popping, lopping. Haven't not raided this guy before, so we'll go show him some love. Let me do these. So everyone, go show him some love. We're going to end the stream on YouTube a little bit early. Just as a coincidence of you can't raid on YouTube. Not that I know of anyway. If you can, that'd be pretty cool. But anyway, I appreciate you all, and yeah, should start my league racing practice tomorrow. I might even start a little bit tonight. But that being said, I will catch you lot all later. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and for those who drove cleanly, cracking. Who didn't, not cracking. But yeah, I appreciate you all, and I'll catch you lot later. Ciao, ciao. Bye, bye.